Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to everybody to the training. I see people here in from Africa, Middle East. We have England, Italy. Italy. Then we have Tibor from Hungary. Sean, then we see Americans.
Hello, everybody.
Multiple Americans who are here. Yeah? Okay, excellent. Good. So warm welcome from my side for the training about services at Drupa. And the session today we have split into 5. Does that work like this? No, like this. We have split into 5 sections. First, I would like to talk about services at Drupa. How did we do that over last time and now this time? Then the slightly adapted service navigator, and then we start label by label. Today about startup, improve, and parts. That's what we cover today. So some people might remember 2012. That was the first time we came public with the MMServices at the show. And that's the way we presented ourselves. So you see, we had this ugly, just let me get to the pointer here. We had this somehow a little bit, compared to the laser blue machine, somehow old-fashioned green machine that we had on display. And with that, we wanted to set a message. It was a message internally to you guys, to the Müller Martini world, but as well to the marketplace that Müller Martini is in services. For a long time, customers did not have seen us in this field. They knew that they could call us, but it was never saw as a particular pillar of our business. That was really the first presence as we have shown at Drupa. And you can imagine there were several other people coming from services, and they ask, how did you manage to get an old machine to show something like that at the Drupa? But that's what we did, because we thought we have to make a statement to us and to the market. Then when we look, it went on at Drupa 2016. We see we had this beautiful setup of the machines here, and we had the services, MMServices set up here with the screens on the wall, with displays along the right there. We had the magnet at that time, these glasses that we have shown. It was really a magnet at that time, and it generated us a lot of traffic. And over, because we managed that as a group, that to bring the people over and to generate as well a lot of business. And for sure with that, it was clear that service is here. And today, when we look, services is it's really a major pillar of Müller Martini business. It's roughly 45% of the total revenue coming out of services. So it's a major thing. And that's why we guard that, we protect that, we promote. We want to promote that, and we further want to stimulate that services business. And when you look this services journey, I have the chart over there on the wall that shows what we did year after year since 2010. Every year we brought up new products, new solutions, new tools, new processes, and this was all combined with a lot of investments. But this was all done just to make us better and to follow our vision to become a first-class service for the graphic arts industry. We don't want to be the best, but we want to be a first-class, one of the best services that you can get within the graphic arts industry. Our focus is, and then we have as well our promise that we have, that we state, which is as well in our service brochure, that our focus is on your success. We help you to maintain your productivity over the long term. And that's what we really focus on. And we did that as well with trainings. We had, for example, the service excellence training, where we worked with our service engineers. We made a training. We had a handbook here that we generated with the content that every service engineer got. And it was about communication as well, about behavior, about understanding what we want to do. And at the end, it was boiling down to our services commitment, which has 4 pillars that we say we need to have satisfied customer. We have strong relationships with the customer, but as well with the sales force. That we are the experts and we have the know-how, because that's what we need to have. Otherwise, we can't charge our rates. And we understand that service is a business. So we did quite an investment just to make sure that every service engineer around the world understands the concept. Before that, we did multiple trainings for service excellence. You remember? This is the book what we did for the sales, on the sales front, that we trained all the sales around the world on how to become how to get into the sales excellence. Why we did for that 3 trainings around the world. That was covering over 6 years, I would say. We did that. And then we had the service excellence, and now the latest one is this hybrid service and sales excellence training. That's where we said we want to bring service and sales in one room working together. You see here on the pictures, maybe some of you are on those pictures. Trainings that we did so far in Asia, we did here in Europe, we did in Latin America, those trainings. And there as well was a part of it was the rules of services, but as well, how can service and sales work together to each other, help each other, work closer with each other, helping to cover our customers at its best, find opportunities, and generate new business. And that's as well what we want to do at Drupa. This Drupa. In this Drupa, that's the layout. I'm sure you saw that. So the setup, where we have the starting point, the cockpit tower here, where we start the presentation, and then we would go down to see the machines, beautiful machines that we have set up, and then go further into the service area. The services area is set up like that. It's a round course like this, clockwise, starting here at the services navigator to give the customer an overview, then go over to the first post, which is Startup and Improve, then Support Inspect, go to MMParts, further to Up to Date. That's this corner here where we show videos, we show a VPN nozzle and retrofits we're going to show here, and then we end up Select, and that's as well on the Select area. That would be then the point to find the needs from the customers and to start, stimulate, or close business in services. So that's the setup, what we're going to have. And I would go on with this, with the services navigator. This is something we changed slightly, the look and feel of this chart. But I would like to quickly show what's new. So first of all, we have here our promise, service promise we have here written on. Then we slightly adapted the logos just a bit to make it more modern. It's still with these hills like that. And we see that we have the startup here, all the basic service products here. MMInspect, that's this, sorry, I have to say, this curve shows the capability of a machine after the installation. It gets faster, the quality gets better, the output gets better, the uptime gets better, everything gets better. But there is a point where we reach the peak, and then it starts to degenerate. And there's a moment then as well where we have our tool, the MMInspect, whether it's used as a one-time inspection or during a maintenance intervention, where you go and check the machine and bring it up again. And then as well, bringing up again is together with Up to Date. You can do that, and you can do that multiple times, especially when you have a maintenance agreement. Then you have here a ripple, and the goal is really to keep this output of this machine on the highest level possible. It ends with startup, either a dismantling, a relocation, or scrapping of a machine, and then select below as our service agreements that we have. New is the lifecycle management that we brought in, that we have those 4 phases we want to talk about. And then we want to bring MPOWER into that, which is our our or the customer's portal for that. Now, what we're going to do as well this year, like the other Drupas before, we're going to generate a Drupa walk. It's a text that it's written. We do that together with Tony to bring in the language that we want to place in the selling or in the presentation to our customers. It's rather new. You will get that soon. We're still working on it, and I'm reading that a bit on the text. You will get it up front, so you can get yourself familiarized with that as well. You will get as well a cheat sheet then with short bullet points, so that you can get better and better in that. Now, welcome to the service area of Müller Martini. I will take you now through our service solutions that we have developed to ensure the best productivity of your Müller Martini investments. Since Drupa 2016, we have invested heavily in the MMServices program, and this is all driven by the idea that we are here to support you to maintain peak productivity over the complete life of your post-pressing. Müller Martini Services covers from installation to the end of life. It starts here with the MMStartup. The first startup is for installation and commissioning, and the last startup is when there is a relocation or dismantling at the end of the life. Then, in between those two startups, we have the service products like MMImprove for training during the ramp-up phase. We have MMParts, one of the best parts programs in the industry with over 90% parts availability. And then we have Support, our global support program, where we invest over 30 million per year in technicians for technical and process support. Next, we have Inspection, where, like on your motor car, we inspect the machine to make sure it is in its best productivity level. We then have a catalog of up-to-dates products that, as your machine or line ages and as we develop new automation, new controls, new technology, I will come to you and give you your options to keep your unit up to date. And we call that our investment protection program. And at the end, we have Select. This is where we have customized service agreements that match your specific needs. And this is based on your budget, time, and what level of service response you need for your specific production line. Since 2020, we added our life cycle management program, where we categorize every machine based on its position on its life cycle and manage the availability of parts and support. And the wrapping of all those services is done with your MPOWER portal. At last Drupa, we introduced our customers the portal. In the meantime, it's available as a cloud version and it's base, and it is the base for your smart services program that I will show you in a moment. And now for the next few minutes, I will take you through the MMServices lifecycle program, and we start over here at the startup. So this would be the way structured, the way you text. We're still gonna write it around to make it very, how do you say that? That it's going to be a good text that you can use then for your presentation. Then with that, you would go over to startup. That's the next label, Startup. So I go into that subject, and first I would just like to go into that point of view. What's the customer view about startup? Here, during the sales excellence training and as well on service excellence training, we talked about this. Well, when is the highest stress level at the customer between signing a contract and end of the warranty? When is the peak like that? And that's what we discussed during the training. And if you remember, we said when the crate hits the floor. So the question in our customer's mind is it a good machine or is it a mundane machine that they will deliver? Does the Müller Martini engineer know that machine? Or will he really be focused on my machine, or will he be distracted by another customer calls? And will he work with my team, or will there be issues and conflict because some of my team are not so easy to work with? And then the last as well, will he work hard and fast to get the line up and running on the start date as promised, so that this installation is a good installation. And there as well, we have one rule in our for our services, for service engineers, where we say the customer's net impression after the intervention, being whatever intervention you do, it must be Müller Martini, great. They worked hard, got my machine production whether back into production on time, Müller Martini, brilliant. That should be the net impression of our customer base. Now, how do we achieve that at the startup for installations? There we have a bunch of actions that we do to make there an excellent job. Now, first, we have clearly defined processes that we have defined and documented for all. You see here the process house where all the various processes are in detail described in those swim lanes charts like that. It's documented for all, and more important, it's fully integrated in our IT systems. Every year, this is going to be approved, ISO approved from external people, and it's more important, it's constantly improved. So when we see something that not fits, we adapt it to make it better. Then we have milestones from starting to make an offer to the end of a project, milestone 1 to milestone 60. It's a group-wide definition. It's base for quality checks because we have several gates along the way where we can check the quality. And it's as well the base for a clear communication internally, but as well with the customer. We have project managers, assigned project managers to the projects, and they can be locally and they can come from the factory. And the good thing, there is a direct link then coming them back into the R&D so that we can solve problems on a fast way. Further, we have commissioning types and target times. So commissioning times means we have predefined, for each project, it's predefined who has the responsibility. Is it local? Is it local, but it's supported by the factory, or is the responsibility fully in the factory? So this is defined when a quote is done. Then further, we have predefined target installation time as a starting point to make quotes. Although this is only a starting point, each project might have different issues so that you need to adapt the installation times. And this is as well then the base for the controlling and the reuse that we do on a regular basis. Further, we have a project documentation. This is one I got from America. Thank you very much. We see here that's documentation which has layouts in it. It has contact points in it. It has the packing list, the Gantt chart of the installation, how it goes on like that. And I know that is a little bit different from country to country, but it's a standard that we give the customer some documentation when before even he gets the machine. Then with MPOWER, as soon as a customer buys a machine, we open up a digital brother, a digital twin in MPOWER. That's our customer port with the access to the documentation, with all the installation layouts, the manuals, parts catalogs, wiring, schematics, and the network plan. So with that, really, he has access to documentation, but as well, we have access to the documentation, the same documentation of this specific customer's setup. Further, at the end of the installation, we perform a checkup, which is with the startup checklist. It's done with the inspection tool. It's a special template in our inspection tool. For example, for the new Antaro, there are 33 checkpoints for the startup. In contrast, we have 62 checkup points for the regular maintenance intervention. So we have there a way as well after installation, just to make sure that the installation is perfect, and so it's checked. And at the end, we do controlling. we control, we track the targets, the target of the installation time and the costs. Whether the warranty cost is covered, and we do that on a periodic reviews where we have every half year we have with the service directors from the regions. We have a review of all the projects that in the last 6 months hit either end of installation or hit end of warranty. So we review that. Based on that, we have follow-up actions, or it goes into the R&D. When we see there is a cluster, or whether there's a cluster of problems or particular problems, that is fed back then into the factory. And with that, our goal is to lower our cost and to manage our cost. And here you see as well the development of the costs of installations and for the warranty and quality costs, as it has happened over the last quarters when I look at that. Yeah. So we got better, and in reality, when we look from all the projects that we do, which is our roughly 200, 95% of them, they're running smooth, going well. And we have some projects that falling off the table, we know that, and they generate a lot of stress for the whole organization. It's a part of our business as well, because we have new equipment and we don't have the same amount of series that we had in the old good times. But we are working hard just to manage our installation costs, and we measuring it, and we want to get better. That's our goal. And I really strongly believe we do a good job. We do an excellent job there. But as everywhere, we can improve. That's what we want to do. Now, how do we present a startup at the show? Documentation. For that as well, we're going to have a screen. That's the screen then next to the navigator, where we have some visuals. It's not defined yet, but there will be some MPOWER in it. There will be some installation in it. There will be bullet points on the right-hand side that fit to the text that we talk, and then we make the visuals that fit as well. So the text here would be that the MMStartup, it's all about securing a fast commissioning and a high production performance of your new equipment. We are working with our professional project management structure, where we have detailed processes with milestones and support programs to get your new investment up and running to its peak productivity. And this in the shortest time and with as little stress as possible. On each new installation, we create a digital twin that is generated on the MPOWER platform, your smart customer portal. And with this, you have all information you need at your fingertips, like manuals, schematics, layouts, or spare parts catalogs. It is your entry point to look into all aspects of the Müller equipment and your machine performance. MPOWER can be loaded on your PC, on your tablet, or on your smartphone. This is about startup, and on the same post that we have there, we have as well the improve. So then the slides that will be swapped back and forth between startup and improve. And below, there will be a table. On the table, there is a laptop running with MPOWER on it. There will be a layout of installation. There will be such a booklet for a customer handbook. There will be installation checklists, stuff like that, that you have something touchable if you want to engage the customer deeper. And the whole concept is done that you can get through at MMServices within, I would say 6 minutes or something like that, or you can go deeper in it, or let's say 10 minutes, or you go deeper in it with the customer hooks on, and then you can go deeper and talk about, have this hands out, or what we have on the table can go into MPOWER to show something specific. So that's the concept. So depending on the customer, depending on the needs, that you can structure your sales pitch. Now, next improve, as I said, is on the same post. There as well, what's the customer view about training? Things that are in the mind and keeps the customer awake at night. Could be that he has retiring people, which is quite often something that people are retiring. They are leaving the company, and they have to find new people. So, and then sure, training will be an issue. or what needs to be done to get more out of the line, that he get more production out of the line. Then when he has an old line, then will I find someone to run my machine, which needs to be trained as well? Or the other thing is then, how can I keep Leo, my 25-year-old, or my 25-year-old binder? Is he, because he's really the best in my operation? And then clearly, from the sales point of view, our answer is buy a new machine. So that you can keep and have an attractive machine, keep the operators. But then when the Leo has this beautiful Publica Pro, then the question of the customer will be, can Leo handle this new Publica Pro technology as well, as then is linked then to the training. And finally, will he be able to run 100,000 books a shift in April, so that he can really master this machine, that he gets the best out of that machine? All of that linked with training, whether the customer or whether the operator is capable to do that. Now, for that, we have as well our approach in Improve, how we can support our customers. So first of all, we have over 20 training machines. When you look here, that's the, I need to swap the pointer. Here, that's look into the training center for those who haven't been here lately, with all those machines where we have 20 production lines set up. So we have them here in the print finishing center. We have in Allentown in America. We have in Tokyo, we have machines, and we have now as well in Heidelberg, Wiesloch, a nice machine where we as well go there if you need to make training. So we invest heavily. That's a huge investment that we do just to have all these machines up and running, ready for training, demos, or tests like that. Then we have an experienced trainers, very experienced trainer, averaged, they have 25 years of experience of Müller Martini. Here we have over 10 full-time instructors in Switzerland, Germany, next to all the instructors that we have who have a double function, I know, which sometimes are as well a service engineer, but as well if there is a demo to do in Allentown or Tokyo, then they are the ones who are chosen to do that. So we have a really experienced trainer. Then what we have as well, we have modular training blocks for customers and for ourselves, be it for Müller Martini or agents. And what we have a fixed pricing for the training, the PFC, where you pay 500 per day in person. The structure looks like that we have for the customer 2 different type of products for those 20 machines. So we have multiple machines, and for each machine we have either a basic operator training or an advanced operator training. For this we have a brochure that explains what's all about, what's in this training. And then we have all the Müller Martini or the agency trainings, where we have the basic technical training, the advanced training, the technical support training, the technical training for sales, and then the bookbinding technology training course, where we dig deep into the bookbinding. And there's the COM, that's the technical trainer training, so that the trainer that we are working on will come soon. Then here we have a streamlined training process, so that we have for optimized preparation of the trainees with a structured weekly program. So first he gets an invitation of the training course with invitation and confirmation. Then he gets a schedule for the whole week. What's the content? He gets a welcome package when he gets to us. And at the end of the training, we ask for the feedback of everybody as well to improve, to get into the loop. And he gets a certificate that he finalized the training here. Then further, we have really stimulating infrastructure here. With it's a separate clean area, the whole training center. It has different retreats. We have here this arena where you can sit down with the big screen. We have another area you can sit here. We have where you can train. We have a lot of chairs and tables around where you can work, and we have even other instructor rooms that are even more closed. So we can really do this combination theory and praxis in one place. Then a part of that of our startup or improve. I just realized I have a wrong title here. I need to change. We have the MPOWER, the service point. Actually, service point, it's all for our internal view where we can find information. MPOWER is the customer's view of the data. And this is an integral part of the training. We train the customer the MPOWER, and we train service point for the Müller Martini guys. And the goal is find yourself the fastest way, the right information. That's what we train here. Then we have different training setups in our training facility that you can do really here in the PFC or at the Allentown in Tokyo or Wiesloch, or we can do it at the customer, or we can do that online. You see here on that was a training that we did for China for our own service engineers, done with the glasses, so everybody could see exactly what Mr. Norlander did, which button he pressed around. For that, we have a professional equipment for these remote trainings. We have a mixing desk, a video mixing desk. We have the AR glasses, and we have the gimbal cams that you can walk around, and it's not a shuttering image. Then we have another asset, that's Monica. She's the go-to lady for everything about training, demonstration, scheduling, or visits. So for her, she takes care. Get her on this email address. That's the best, the PFC address. So if she is in holiday, then that is handled anyhow. But otherwise, as well, phone. She's the lady. She takes care, and I think really she is an asset for the training center because she manages all around that everybody feels comfortable during training. Now, I would like to go into a live demo from MPOWER, and for startup and improve, because we're going to have a laptop below, and I just would like make sure that you understand or get a feeling what's all in this MPOWER. Now I have to swap into my browser, which is this one. This one. So I go into Google, ask for Müller Martini, then I go to the website. And so I'm here on the website. I change the language to English. And you see here up we have MPOWER. So I go in MPOWER. And then I'm in. I got in now directly because I was in before, apparently. Yeah. Otherwise, you have to take your account, and then you log in, and then you get in. Now, it's important to say I'm in as a Müller Martini employee. I was too fast. To be honest, I was too fast. I wanted to show something else, actually. How do I get out? Now you got me. Why doesn't it work? No. Sorry, I want to show you something different. Sorry, and that's why I have to start up. Here. So I go in here, then I say Müller Martini, then we are here, then I go to the starting page, I go MPOWER. Now, that's normally the way you go in. Then you choose, I have to log in. Now I have here different options. Now I go in as with my own login as a Müller Martini employee, go in. Then I have to key in here my password. No. So, and now I'm in the service point. That's something where you get all the information for all the installations in your area for the customers. You find there about it. Now I'm interested in, I go into the PFC, Print Finishing Center. You can get on the Print Finishing Center as well. Now you see all the accounts that we have, the old one. We see all the machines that are installed in the training center. I choose now the Print Finishing Center, and now I'm in this in MPOWER. But it's the MPOWER, it's the look of a Müller Martini employee. It's a little bit slightly different, especially this one here. And we have the equipment data down here, which is quite different. Now, on this one, you see all the lines that are installed in the training center now. And you see all the lines that were installed in the training center since we started up the training center as an account. And this is well important. If you see that there is something wrong, then you have here the feedback button, which I really urge you to use, because the MPOWER is not only as good as the data that is in, and the data we collect mainly out of the business one. And so when you see something wrong, then give the feedback, clean it up, say what's all about, what's the topic, is it topic about master data, is it something for your local organization or something that you have to send to corporate, is it something about the MPOWER app? You can drag and drop pictures, attachments here like that, and then you can send it, and then it will come to the right place to fix it. So here we really urge you, use the feedback as soon as you see something that is wrong that we can clean up. It's a constant process. So this is something we see only. The customer, he goes into his home button, so he sees this one, and then I would now dig into equipment. Because when a customer buys a new machine, then this is automatically loaded. So he sees his new machine here on this equipment base. So he sees then when it was manufactured, what's the machine type, when is the warranty over, and what is the life cycle status. Then further, we have here a life cycle description, what's all about. That's the brochure. So you see in the brochure here all what's by phase for equipment, support, up-to-date and parts, what's our services that we offer. And then you can have as well details. So you go into the various machines. So you can say, give me the Allegro. Then you see on the Allegro line, it consists of all those elements that is set up with all this information that we have on this one. So that's what you can see of the installed base, our digital twin that we open up as soon as a customer buys a new machine. Then we go on into the documentation, another important point for the customer. And before I do that, I want to change, I go quickly now and change the user. Do it like this, I believe, yeah. Because I go in now as a customer. I want to go in now, and I go in like the PFC set up like a customer view. Now, Yep. So I'm now in the PFC as I would look like a customer. And you see here up, it's not anymore this view that I just explained before. You're directly into the home. So when a customer buys a new machine, he gets the documentation, which is an important fact for the startup and the training. So here, first of all, you have layouts. Layouts, here we have two layouts. You get the assembly layout, meaning the layout that the way the machine was installed and delivered here. That's the Ventura, how it is set up, like that. That's one thing. Then, then I go back to documentation here. I have the network diagram. I can swap the machine. I go to Prinova Digital here. Then I see here, I got the layout. I have here as well the network diagram. You can always choose whether you want to have it in this screen or whether you want to download the product. When you can download as well, you can select the language. So I have English, I downloaded it. And then here you see it's opened up, this download, and then you have a full screen PDF on the viewer. Now you see the setup of the training center, this for the network, like that, with all the now let's go quickly into the Prenova digital like this. I can zoom in like this. So you hear on the saddle stitcher, we have the Prenova, we have the overall the overhead screen we have there, we have the visualization, we have the ASIL Pro router. Then we have on this machine, we have make power measurement and air measurement as well, that we have those sensors linked into a switch box. And with that, you see all the addresses. So all such information the customer gets, we get. And it's really stored at the customer, at the customer's digital twin on MPOWER. Then we stay with electronics, so this corner. So we see here the schematics on the compensating stacker. So I can open up the schematics. I do it here in this screen like that. You have this function here that you can swap away the icons here, or you swap it in, swap it out. We have here on the side the list of contents where I can jump on one. Let's say supply list. Let's go down. So you see here all the items like that, and then it's a how do I say, it's a PDF which has additional function in it, so you can jump around when you follow a line like that, and then you go into that one, then you jump into the next sheet. So you jump so you can really follow the cable in the schematics like that. So this is one thing we got. I go back to the documentation here. So then we have the manuals, for sure. The manuals here, we can download the manuals here as well. Now I downloaded, let's do it here, English. I downloaded it here as a PDF. It's up here. And then here as well, that's the manual as it is for our customers. Here as well, you have the possibility to jump around. So let's look something, operating mode. So you can click on and then you automatically jump into that page of this document. So that's the manuals. And then we have as well a spare parts catalog, like this one here. So I go into the saddle stitcher. Now, with the new machines, we have now starting as well coming out with the 3D catalog. So we have the 2D catalog. This is here with the PDFs. This is still available now. And then, but you can go as well into the 3D catalog like that. And I would like to show you that, how that looks like this. Now I can make the screen larger, like this. I change to English, and it's already English here. I go into the stitching machine. I'm wondering about that. Now I would like to go in, so I can zoom in. I can zoom. I can turn the machine around like that as I wish. And now I'm interested here something in the stitching carriage that's behind this one. So I select here, oops. Now this was too fast. I didn't want to have the guard. I want to have the stitching machine. I go in again. It was a double click. So here I have the machine. The guard I don't want to see, so you can hide it here with this. So it's, you see more. It's about the stitching carriage. That's this one. I can focus on this assembly. So it's more in the center like this. I can double click on this one. So I have now only the stitching carriage. So on this one. So now I'm interested here in this scale that's here somewhere. So I double click in and say, ah, yeah, that's the scale. I need this scale. So I take it and I add it into the shopping cart. So add it, and then I have the rivets here as well. That's the rivet, yes. I want to have them as well in the shopping cart. And place it here, add it like that. So I have here a shopping cart then. It's all done here, and then I can save it to the eShop like that. I go out here like that. Here I have to go. I have the big screen. I bring it back here in so you can see that. And then I would go into the eShop, and then I can import the file. So in here the file. So it's the shopping cart. That's this one here. And then I would upload it into the system, and then it gives me all the information about these items. But this is something that Marie-Therese and Roland will speak more. So we see here the various items with the scale and the rivet. We see that this one we have some delivery times as well, the other one. But even here it says, please contact your sales agency because this is a rivet. And for this you need a special tool. Normally this is a job for a service engineer. And scale is not really a spare parts. That's why we have not in stock. Nevertheless, if there would be, it's a Prinova Digital, like always. If it's a new machine, then maybe you call better because maybe we can arrange the product, get it out of the serial production that we are running. So this is about eShop, what the customer gets, but more to talk later. I go back to the subject of training and startup. The customer gets with the this one, the customer gets with the MPOWER, he gets this, now I just want to take here, where is it, the Primera Pro, this one. I think there's right now a training going on, or on one machine there's a show going on for the American colleagues. I don't know on which machine. But here, nevertheless, what you see here, it's the last 2 hours on this saddle stitch. And this is every customer gets that. If the machine is hooked up, then he can see what's the speed of the last 2 hours. And this is for free. But he needs to hook up the machine like that. And that's our goal. We want to have a lot of machines hooked up to our systems. If you want to get deeper into it, then like this overview of the machines, then that would be then a license that he would purchase on an annual basis. Then you see all the machines, you see which machines was under production, how much production you have. So we have this view, you see an overview of all the machines. And this is even customizable, the view for you, how the way you want to do it. Like that, or do you have even details, then go deeper into the machines, or you see the top faults or the top stops now on the Primera Pro that happened here over the last 12 hours. So you can choose the time as well. Even more analytics you can do is done with this analytics app, where you have you see an overview of a machine over a long period of time. You see the faults, the stops, but here it's so mighty, this tool. Here really you have to go in and work yourself through and play around. Go on the PFC, play around with these various analytics, what you can do, so that you have a good feeling what's available for our customers. Same for report. Like that, we have here a bunch of reports like that that are predefined reports, really beautiful reports. And I want to put the focus on the last one here. That's the production resources trends. That's something as well that we promote during the Drupa at MMImprove, because with that you can follow the progress of an installation. I have that here. That's a trend report for a Primera Pro. And so we have here technical indicators or operational indicators of a machine. And then you can say from this day to that day, or this month, last 2 weeks. And then you can see how is the setup. Is it getting better or is it getting worse? Or is the availability of the machine getting down? What's the mean time between failures? Is it going down or up? Is the good quality produced getting better? Production output, utilization efficiency. That's all a really nice report. That's, as I said, we measure with MPOWER. We want to look how the machine startup, that this is really running smooth, and it's that we can keep to our promise that we bring the machine up fast to its production speed. Now at Drupa, we have as well this screen for the improve portion there as well. We will have some visuals. We're going to have bullet points there, and the text that we're going to talk to that would be like that. Another important part for the startup of new equipment is having your operators to understand the production line. And this, the line, the processes, and the workflow. With MMImprove, we offer a modular training program that can be customized to your needs. We have seen a big increase in training requests. And as a result, we have, next to our numerous field instructors, over 10 full-time instructors with an average experience of more than 25 years. And further have we invested worldwide over 20 production lines that are available purely for training. Prove that we live our claim. Müller is your strong partner. Having a well-trained operator base is the foundation for achieving the productivity and reliability that the market demands today. And here our well-designed MPOWER apps, the dashboard, the reports, analytics help to constantly follow the progress. And today we must measure and track everything on the production side, including development of our people. And we do this with our MPOWER reports and analytics. Then on the same table where we have startups, so with this laptop with MPOWER running, we can put on flyers for training. We can have a weekly training program in the training, how that looks like, or the certificate, or as well this trend report that we have that available on a table, so that you can take it and show the customer what it's all about. So and with that, we would cover somehow the MMImprove and to give the customer a good view, how do we react to the customer needs that the customer have around training, and what it's all behind that we can really support him to get his machines up to speed as fast as possible. I just make quickly a check whether there is something in the chat room. No, there's no question, so I can go on. Actually go on will be now Marie-Therese and Roland, and so that's why I would hand over to Roland and Marie-Therese. Please take on the presentation, Roland.
Thank you, Felix. Good. Welcome also from my side to the parts training for the Drupa 2024. My name is Roland Gautschi. I am the manager for parts. Marie-Therese Hilpert, she will support me today. She's responsible for e-shop and pricing, and we are doing this presentation together. Please note that the presentation will be recorded, so it can be used later on as a reference book or for self-study. Please turn off your microphone. I think this has happened already. Otherwise, we would have had some noise already. And please send your questions via chat. We will answer questions in the end of this presentation. Our table of content for today is what are customer expectations in the parts business. And to give you an overview of KPIs, then all about easy and secure identification of spare parts, high parts availability, and in the end, how we present us at the Drupa show. So we have a customer. He's not that happy. He has a breakdown of his machine actually, and he make up his thoughts, machine down, what's next? How can Müller Martini help me? So now he thinks about, okay, what about parts identification? How can I do that? How can I be sure that I will order the right part? Are these parts I will need, are these in stock, available relatively fast? Or do I have to wait? Is there a delivery time behind of some non-stock items? How long would that take? Are there any discontinued items involved or even parts that are not available anymore? And how is the order process? How can Müller Martini make sure that the deadline, that the delivery times are adherent? We are really good at supporting you in parts and to minimize downtime of your machines. This is something we can tell our customers to calm them down, actually. Various tools and services are supporting you to identify and to order your requested spare parts. We will show you later on how. And ordering the right parts and doing it fast, easy, and with a high transparency by using our eShop in MPOWER is key. Just remember these four numbers: 90% plus, 100 million, 100,000, and 100 plus. 100 million Swiss francs we invested in parts, and these parts are waiting for our customers to be sold. These are 100,000 different part numbers that we have warehousing and logistics for. And more than 100 people in our global part support and in the supply chain are supporting us and our customers. These all leads to this 90% plus, and that's the spare part stock availability from ESC. These three top numbers are the reason why this 90% plus is so high in the market. Please remind that all the time when you discuss with the customers. Now coming to easy and secure identification, and I will hand over this part to Marie-Therese.
Thank you, Roland, and hello everyone from my side. So our customers have several options to identify their desired parts by themselves. For historical machines, as an example, you can see the parts catalog from a stitching head, where each component and their corresponding part numbers can be identified. And for new machines, as Felix demonstrated before, as an example on this sewing machine Ventura MC200, the PDF parts catalog can be directly downloaded in MPOWER, and the new 3D parts catalog on the right-hand side is also in MPOWER available. Furthermore, the customer has several options regarding pictures to identify the required part. So we have camera pictures, single as well as 360-degree pictures, and we will make these kind of pictures for commercial parts as well as parts with high consumptions. On the other hand, there are CAD rendered pictures, which will be taken for drawing parts with low consumptions and low value parts such as screws and bolts. And the customer also has the opportunity to download the documentation for some spare parts. And now to show you more in detail, I will enter the eShop and show you a few pictures and the mentioned documentation. Okay, so as an example, you can see this master link here, and the customer has the opportunity to click on this play button, and then the picture will show the 360 view. He can also click on this arrow and turn around the part for himself. And then you can also zoom in on the part and zoom out, of course. And if you click on this arrow, you can see the single pictures. And now this part actually has been taken with our camera. And I will also show you now a CAD picture. For example, this bolt. And the same procedure as before, you can click on the play button and then the 360 view will kick in. And then you also have the single pictures right here. And also the documentation. For example, this sucker here. We have the documentation in German and in English. And if the customer clicks on this link, then the PDF will pop up. And then here's all the relevant information about suckers and caps. Okay, Roland, can you please bring back the presentation?
Yes.
Thank you. So the eShop also helps the customer to find the correct part. We have more than 30,000 items with one-to-one succession. And if the customer enters a part in the shopping cart that has been replaced, then this green message will pop up and let him know that the part he tried to enter has been replaced by a new part number. And furthermore, we have more than 2,000 items which have a 1-to-X succession. And if a customer enters such part, then this red message will appear telling him to replace the part he tried to enter in the shopping basket with the following 3 part numbers, as you can see on the right-hand side. And back in MPOWER, this is also something that Felix already explained. On this equipment page, the items can be chosen at the screen and all the relevant information about the parts are available. So as an example, for if the customer clicks on this red signal lamp, he can see on the right-hand side the information about it. And next step, if the customer still does not find his desired parts, we have a first level support, which will be provided by the market organizations. And the second level support consists of 12 employees, which are located in Zofingen, Velben, and Raden. And they clear more than 600 technical clarifications per month. And the service is also free of charge for the customer. and more than 80% of all clarifications are completed at the same day. And now I will hand over to Roland again.
Okay, thank you, Marie-Therese.
Thank you.
Okay, now we are coming to the high parts availability. And we are really good at supporting you in parts. Please remind that. We have our eShop, and this eShop is accessible 24/7 all year. So customer can look for specific parts all the time and availability and so on. We have more than 250,000 parts that are listed in our eShop. We are indicating current spare parts availability in our eShop as well. We have 100,000 various parts in stock out of these 250,000, and these are ready for logistics. And that's the 100 million Swiss francs we have invested in parts. Besides that, we also take care for parts that got discontinued from our suppliers. So we're having roughly 1,000 discontinued items in stock, and these are worth 10% of our entire spare part stock. So it's also a high number we have here to support our customers. And besides that, when even a part is not available at all anymore, we have a repair service, and we also have refurbished items in stock for such parts. Now we are coming back to the same picture we had before, and Marie-Therese will show you more specific now regarding availability, delivery times, and so on in eShop.
Yes, so I will take over again one more time. So I've talked about the identification of these parts before, and now I will show you the availability in eShop. For example, this master link, I've put in 50 pieces of the order quantity, and 34 pieces are now available, and the expected delivery time for the other 16 pieces is 5 to 7 weeks. Or this bolt here, we have 70 pieces now available, and 30 pieces have an expected delivery time of 1 to 3 weeks. But there's also a third possibility. If we receive a confirmed delivery date from our supplier, then this will also show up in eShop. So this bundle has a confirmed delivery date for the 27th of February. So the customer knows, okay, ESC should have this bundle again on the 27th, and then we can supply the part to the customer again. Yeah, so Roland, you can
good. Thank you,
take it back.
Marie-Therese.
Thank you.
Good. Last buy items. As I told you already, 10 million Swiss francs or 10% of our stock value we have in last buy items. These are over 1,000 articles or 16,000 pieces we have in stock, and additional 21,000 pieces that are available at our suppliers. We bought already and can have these on demand. Only in 2022 and 23, we bought over 10 for over 10 million Swiss francs purchase orders for such items. And for some items, we have to do a yearly maintenance for servo converter and frequency inverters. That costs us also a lot of money, but we take that to make sure these parts are ready to use actually for our customers. Here you see a picture of this so-called forming. This is something we have to do every 2 years, and we are charging the capacitors here actually so that this is fully charged and the customer can use it. Here a few examples, servo and frequency inverters for motors. We have on one hand the servo converter 9300 from Lenze. This one is in use since 2010. The discontinuation was in May 2017, and in 2019 we took a last buy of 100 pieces, roughly 500,000 Swiss francs. Another example from Lenze is the frequency inverter 8200 Vector, also in use since 2010, discontinued in May 2017, and also here in 2019 we did a last buy of 350 pieces. This was a purchase order of 2 million Swiss francs. And the newest one was the servo converter Ecopos from B&R. This one was also in use since 2010. The discontinuation we got last year in January, and we had to do the last buy already in summer. And it was over 800 pieces, roughly 2 million Swiss francs we invested there as well. So 3 examples of that we are investing a lot actually for such parts. If we do not have the parts at all anymore, we have a last chance to help our customers. This is with our repair service. So we are repairing defective parts from the customer. He will send it to us. We will repair, send the same part back to our customer. So we have nothing in stock, but simply a repair service of more than 100 items actually with these .R items that are active that we can support our customers. For example, you can see it here for the control unit. 2 examples here, roughly 20 pieces a year on the left-hand side, and here roughly 10 pieces a year on the right-hand side. So it's quite common to do that actually on our customer side. Here you see the parts availability from stock for parts with frequent consumption. So the target line is at 91%. And back in 2018, we had a good matching, let's say, more or less of this target line, but then got hit by the coronavirus. We also got hit by the war that is going on in the Ukraine, actually. This brought us down during the supply chain crisis in 21-22, but then we made it up again, slightly but steep, and are now back actually at the target. And yes, can be proud that we have a good availability again to help our customers bringing up their machine relatively fast. Besides looking just at the availability of parts, we go a bit deeper and we look, okay, what's the machine actually behind? Is it regarding our life cycle management? Is there an active machine behind, a secured one, a limited or an obsolete? And of course, for active and secured machines, we have higher targets actually to support our customers than we have for limited or even obsolete machines. If there is a high demand, normally we have a prognosis behind and we make sure that we have a high availability, that these parts are almost actually in stock to send out to our customers. When we have a low demand for active machines, of course, we can sometimes go back to the factories that they have something in stock that we do not have maybe at the ESC, and to help out like this. And also for the secured parts, we will look a bit closer, and even with for parts that have longer delivery times, we make sure that these parts will be available in stock. When we go to limited machines, of course, then with the high demand, it's also with the prognosis. But when there's a low demand, of course, then normally it's on request that we do not have these parts in stock anymore. And when we have an order from a customer, then we have to purchase actually the parts. And same at the obsolete side, or sometimes we don't have a possibility anymore as well for the obsolete parts. Now, coming to the next slide regarding notifications to our customers. So Marie-Therese will explain you a bit more in details about this.
Yes, so this slide indicates a timeline of email notifications once a customer has placed an order in eShop. First of all, he will receive an order receipt that he has placed an order in our eShop. Then the order confirmation with the shipping date will follow, and maybe an update if a part on his order had no confirmed delivery date before. If there is a delivery delay, he will of course also be informed. And once the shipment has left our warehouse, he will get a delivery notice and he will be able to track his order on, and the shipment will be delivered in time, and then we will have a happy customer. The advantages here are that this process has a high transparency from order to delivery. Changes in planning can be considered, and we have a delivery performance of 90% with our logistic partners, which is quite good.
Thank you, Marie-Therese.
Thank you.
Now I'm summarizing about the high parts availability. We have our really good eShop that is accessible all year, gives to our customers and to our market organizations real-time stock indication. You can see the confirmed goods in from our suppliers. We give indication of standard delivery times. These all lead to less errors, less communication forth and back, actually. We make sure that we have availability for active parts, for parts with high consumption. We also will prepare kits actually for newer machines in the future, so that these kits can be used for maintenance actually, and can be exchanged directly at the customer machine. We also make sure that we have critical parts in stock, even though when the consumption is not that high. And of course, the parts with frequent consumption, we take care of regarding our prognosis behind. Also for upgrades and retrofits, we are looking for possibilities that we can make this possible for our customers, that they have something they can order. It's important to have this for active parts, actually. On the other hand, when we have inactive parts, discontinued parts, we are considering last buys to help our customers. We do maintenance for these parts, And last but not least, we have a repair service that we can help out our customers even if parts are not available anymore. This all leads to a good availability from stock. We had some problems, or we had some challenges during the Corona and the Ukraine war, but now we're back to normal and happy to support our customers with a high availability. This all is underlined with eShop notifications that the customer has a high order transparency in the eShop and he can plan ahead for interventions if there shall be any delivery delays. This all leads to satisfied customers. We do yearly interviews with our customers. They're quite happy with the parts business. They also with the availability from stock, and more than 40% of all parts orders are taken already from our customers. So the usage of our eShop is also growing on the customer side. Now we are coming to the Drupa show. Also here it's a similar approach as Felix already explained. We will have the Drupa walk on one hand, actually that will guide you through the whole Drupa booth. Then we will have a monitor with some visuals on it and bullet points that will indicate some benefits. We will have a table there with objects, with spare parts. There will be last buy parts to talk about, or maybe wear and tear parts, typical ones with a high availability. You will have the cheat sheet that will support you. And now I'm also will give you an insight of the Drupa walk. And this can be something like that. We are really good at supporting you in parts and to minimize downtime of your machines. This not just because of a huge spare part stock, it is also the secure parts identification and the fast, easy and transparent ordering process with our eShop. Just remember the four numbers: 100, 100,000, 100 plus, 90% plus. These numbers represent the 100 million Swiss francs invested in parts. 100,000 represents the different part numbers that we have warehousing and logistics for. The 100 plus is the number of people, salaries that are in our global part support and supply chain. These three numbers are the reason why the most important number and the only one you care about, parts availability, is 90% plus. For your parts needs, we have focus on one word: easy. Easy to identify, easy to order. This is just a sample out now of the Drupa walk. We will finalize, fine-tune it a bit more, but this is something you can use then later on and to learn these by heart, of course. Okay. Good. Are there now any questions in the chat?
Yeah, Hector is asking whether it will be possible for customers to purchase parts during Drupa.
We've been talking about already, but have not set up our minds finally. And we have to think. So I think for Brazil, huh?
Definitely, what can be done? People can come to Switzerland and purchase it here. That's possible. Yeah. That's possible.
I think we have to do so because it's not possible that they can come to Germany. They have to come to Switzerland. We can sell the parts here from the ramp, so to say.
Roland, come on. Yeah. Let's think about it. We take it. Okay. Hector, we take it up. We take it up and have a look at it. But either here in Switzerland, I just wonder what it would be when we would ship it to Raden or something like that. if there would be a possibility. But let us think again about it. Yeah. That's all. Are there other questions from the group? That would be the moment to bring it in. You could bring it in as well with the microphone. You can open up the microphone, no problem. Otherwise,
Felix.
Yep.
Rich Allert, how you doing?
Hello, Rich. Hello.
Hey, I just had a thought question, with our transition, to the new MPOWER here in, North America. Sometimes, I think it would be beneficial if we could, not necessarily on a large scale, but some key customers maybe get a little more of a training on, our eShop, our MPOWER, just to help them kind of get more familiar with it. We have documentation, but sometimes, a video training like this is very helpful in familiarizing them with some of the differences of what they had and what we have now, so just a question.
Do you know about the videos we have about we have documentation about Fabian, Fabian, I know you're on. What do we have the videos on? Definitely for the 3D shop, 3D portion, but the 3D is only a part of it, I know, and it's only for the latest machines.
Well, what they have is a video that introduces MPOWER and the different modules we have at the moment.
Yeah.
Then Connex Info Cloud, a brief overview, which is integrated in MPOWER, and as well a basic tutorial over the 3D catalog and a more advanced one for the 3D catalog.
Richard, you are aware of that?
Honestly, I'm not. No.
But then, please have a look at it. We can attach it. Actually, we're going to attach you the sheet that we're going to supply with from now on with all the manuals that we still need to print. The manuals we still need to print. We give a sheet for each customer. There he sees the QR code for the videos. I'm gonna look that we have that linked up in the feedback from this presentation, so we have it there. Then you can look at it. If you have further ideas, please get in contact with Roland. Huh?
Sounds good. Thank you, Felix.
Okay, no worries. Other questions? Otherwise, I would come to the wrap-up of the session. So what is next? Next is going to be, we have further training session on MMServices. There will be one on the week of the 4th of March, on the 8th of March. And this will be done by Rito. Topic will be support and inspect. It's a change. We swapped inspect and startup. So there will be support and inspect. That's the next post then after. Actually, it's the support and inspect is after startup. After startup and improve, then comes support, and then comes parts. Yeah, right. And then we end up with a training session from Adrian about select and up to date. So that will be next. Then we are further working on the MMServices Drupa walk. So we generate then the full storyline for that and make that available then, and we generate as well cheat sheets. So folded sheet as we know from the last Drupa. So it's get easier for you then to talk about. Then we're going to have a Drupa. We're going to have a training on Monday for the show. And we're going to have an on-site support, meaning we have people from the various service departments, for the service directors from the various countries there as well, that can help you to, as well in the first days, to get really into that MMServices talk. And just looking back in the last few Drupas, then after 2-3 days, the salesmen were all capable to make the whole story perfectly on their own with the customers. That's actually the goal. And then the goal is definitely that we want to have a lot of traffic on our booth, and we want to have as well the traffic over in the service area. So it's really important. Drupa walk. You start at the cockpit. You go to see the machines, what the customer wants to see, and then bring them over into services and make him the roundup there. And because at the last post, the select, that's the point then where really the selling starts, and that's then the really important point to stimulate, to close business around services. And then that would be the moment then as well to sit down and look what are all the next steps to go on. Now, why do I push that? I push that because we have on the Müller Martini Group, we have set the focal point for this year on a sales push in services. And we did that. Those are the focal points. We said a sales push for parts. We had quite a drop in spare parts business last year. And this is somehow logical. It's logical because the overall worldwide paper consumption goes back. And if the paper consumption goes back, as well spare parts related on this. But we need to do everything which is on our hand to stimulate the spare parts business. On one hand, we have the reactive spare parts business. That's where the machine stops. We have a break. Customer needs a part urgently, and then he needs to have it, and we need to organize it. But we have proactive services like the maintenance agreement, the relocation, the inspection that have a really high impact on the spare parts consumption. So for the Müller Martini Group, it's important that you stimulate a lot of those deals, close agreements, maintenance agreements, search for relocations and get them, and as well for inspections. So this is really a big portion that has an impact on parts. But next to parts, we want to promote the remote services, being helpline, being remote line, or e-call agreements. You see then that on the training session from Rito, where we talk about that. MPOWER apps, the analytics, the dashboard analytics, the report, that this is sold, this is income, steady income, annual income for us. And as well for training, being it here at the PFC or being it on site by a factory instructor or a local instructor. Then as well, upgrades and retrofits, really important business, interesting business for us as well. So that we keep an eye on that, what can we do on the installed base. Now, my heart beats for services. It's a really important thing, but for sure, we are a machine manufacturer. We want to sell machines. So that's why as well, I urge you, the new machine business by using the life cycle management. So if a machine is limited or obsolete, that's the trigger for a new line. You need to start the discussion so that you can bring the customer into the buying mode. Because a limited machine, it's limited. Because although you saw what we do, what we invest for last buy, there are so many articles. And Primera, he has roughly, it consists of 60,000 different items, but of different articles, I think it's 16,000. You can't handle all those parts, and suddenly there's a sensor broken, and then maybe the sensor is not available anymore. We take care for the big controls, that's something, but if it's a limited machine, it's really limited. And we have every week somewhere a machine that stands and it can't be put back into operation because it's limited or it's obsolete machine. And it gets tricky. It gets tricky there, and that's a risk for the customer. So for you, that's really a good starting point into getting into the new machine project. And for that as well, please, before Drupa, check all the customers that you know that they will come to the Drupa, that you can go into their installed base and have a good know-how about on which level of life cycle those machines are, so that you can gear the discussion in that right direction. So with that, I am at the end for the presentation like that. I would ask a last round. Are there further questions from the group? Just checking the chat room. And if not, then I say a big thank you. Participate in this training session, and I really looking forward to seeing you in Düsseldorf. Okay. Have a good day. All the best. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Sum it up. Bye-bye. Roland? Alles gut, der Schluss. Jawohl.